Can you move over a little bit? We're not centered.
We're not centered. Alert the media.
Welcome.
We're centered emotionally and spiritually, though.
Are we centered emotionally and spiritually?
Fuck no.
Not yet. We're getting there. Welcome to the
Allday Live.
51st week of
Strung.
Of bonus. Month 13 is called bonus here in the Pleasure Matrix.
It kind of like makes me think that
with two S's.
You're so used to 12 months in a year, we get a little bonus month at the end, and it will be the deciding month for both us and you, our viewers.
Will it be the deciding month for our viewers?
Yeah, they'll decide whether what they're gonna do. Anyway,
unscripted Jesus is really a treat.
Cringe.
We have a few things on the docket today, and we're excited to be here. I'm in good spirits. Are you?
I'm feeling full of mirth.
I thought mirth was a bad word that meant like anger and funny to hear. I don't usually not know the word. That's weird and old-timey, and Jesus knows it, but in this case it was.
I don't know if mirth is even how I feel, but there are certain, I like to vibe words out that I don't necessarily know. But I do say that my plum count is quite significant.
Plums are high.
The plum harvest is strong, quite numerous.
That's great to hear.
Got a long stronging coming up, folks. We got a couple Shabbats in a row. Shabbat.
As I like to say, Sabbaths.
Yeah.
I think Shabbat means a Shabbos goy turning off and on your light for you. I don't know.
That does literally, you love to use all the Hebrew words for other things. That one for some reason.
It is a double Sabbath this strong. So we have our regular and the new moon Sabbath. We take 2 days of rest here in this army. Let's get it started today with our don't wants, don't needs. We don't work on that day.
Yeah.
Maybe.
A Shabbos. We really need a disparaging word for people who aren't in the Pleasure Matrix. And that comes.
Do I need that?
Just kidding. You don't.
I already
probably.
Do that.
You already have words that
I have plenty of ways to kick people in the teeth.
I think once you get to 6 million, or you get to something where it's a big mass. Like wizards, how they say muggles and mudbloods and stuff like that. We don't have one of those yet because we're still the very, very, very minority. Maybe we do. Maybe we just haven't learned of that. And that might be reserved for the top brass to know the bad words.
Well, let me put this mirror up to myself.
You're looking great.
And think about what I don't need.
You're so pretty.
Thanks, bro. Appreciate it.
What do you look at your face and think about what you don't need?
Yeah.
A nose, perhaps?
I do need a nose.
Well, you need almost everything on your face, I would think.
I wasn't looking at my face to think about what I didn't need.
You think about yourself.
I was just looking at myself to ponder.
I'm scripted, bro. I just whip out the thing.
What do you not want?
Oh, do I have to go first so that you can think of some things?
I mean, I could go first too.
Give me a sec.
I'll go first. Okay. The things that I don't need right now that are on my mind, I think I said this the last time. I don't need sugar and sweets as my only sweetness in life. I don't need to pursue physical sugar in what do you call it?
Physical
in lieu of
intellectual, emotional,
spiritual sugar. Other parts of my life that could be sweet, that don't have the come down, that don't have the hormonal dysregulation, that don't have the the hidden costs of physical sugar in the way that I'm using it. I'm not going to say nobody's sugar's evil or anything, but for me, it doesn't help. So that's something I don't need. And I'm like actually going to get more into that topic a little later, but let me see if there's any others that are on the tip of my tongue right now. I don't need to be guilty. That's a big one for me. Guilt is a useless emotion. And also I have the fun compound emotion. So like an emotion about an emotion of feeling guilty about being guilty.
Ooh.
It's a fun one. I don't need any of that. I always forget to wave when people come in here, and then I wave once they're gone, which is whatever.
That's some spiritual. There's some symbol to that. Do you think that they would have stayed if you had waved?
Maybe they wouldn't have.
They're just waiting for that. Maybe they would join DLA if only they got that one wave.
There's so many moments like that.
Being like, oh, no.
I don't need to have. I don't need to be giving things to the wrong people and withholding things from the people I shouldn't and should probably be giving more to. I know somebody that I give far too much to. It's, we spend a lot of time together. There's lots of opportunities for me to do that, like when I shouldn't. You listening to some like secret headphones in your ear or something?
Going on in my own head.
Okay. Don't needs. Anything else on
I don't need
right
you
now?
to be dancing on my live and making me look a fool.
I don't need childish behaviors or people around me acting childish. I don't need a bad attitude. That's what I'm going to end on. All right. Take it away,
I had
Master
some creative
Sergeant.
Ones today. I started off being like, I don't want to be a boob.
That was interesting.
I don't want to be a noob either. Neither a boob nor a noob.
Nor a noob.
I don't want to experience lack. And then I was just thinking, I don't really want to lack experience either. This is
You're getting
a dog.
You're Seussifying.
I should stop doing that. All right, where are some other ones? I don't want to be needy or operate codependently. Kind of rhymed. I don't want to have no clear ambitions nor ambitious, like doing the dishes. Ambitions nor desires. I don't want to choose to be a junkie, have blown out receptors, and to have. I'm going to save that one. I don't want to stagnate in my career or stand still in my life. I don't want to feel shame or regret. Oh no, those things that I could have done and didn't, or those things that I did and shouldn't have. Oh, woe is me. Boring. I don't want to be. And I don't want to build my house on sand.
Oh, that's a good one. We'll love when that one
enters
the mix. You say that multiple times a month. I don't want to build my house on sand.
Okay, so that's what I don't want.
Okay.
More?
That's a good amount, I guess. Yeah, sure, if you want to.
Nah.
Any thoughts about it? And we kind of explained this segment a little last time, but for our day types, it's helpful for us and where we should be actually focusing to begin, or where we're at right now, on what we don't want and what we don't need as a way to get to our wants and needs, right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Not everyone.
Or just get away from everyone. Who knows?
And
maybe
it's maybe
just the end all is that we just don't have all the things that we don't want and we live a very neutral life. Maybe that's what we want, like fun stuff.
Mm-hmm. Wow. The children out there, the child archetypes.
Child archetypes. Children? No. Children are not supposed to have everything they want and need, by the way. They are supposed to have everything they need, but not everything they want. If I had everything that I wanted as a child.
Oh my God, I would have a crazy life.
Ugh, I don't know if I would still be human all the way. Because,
Mm-hmm.
Did you want like superpowers as a child?
Yes. I've talked to this about, and it is totally embedded with also like superpowers kind of stuff. I so wanted to like have something special about me, like that I could be invisible was one of them if I wanted upon will.
That's a funny one.
And yeah, like an invisible ray would work. Like I could find one and it would work.
Wait, an invisible ray to make other things invisible?
No, like to make me invisible.
Oh, you would just shoot it at
Yeah.
yourself.
And I wanted to like be able to be magic and like make my stuffed animals talk for real.
Oh yeah, The Indian in the Cupboard. Did you ever read that book or watch that movie?
The book, yeah.
Oof. I wanted Mr. Pooch.
It all today on this
live. Indian in the Cupboard. Oh, I was thinking about this yesterday when I was walking back from cashing a check. Actually, is did you ever see that movie Blank Check? Oh yeah, it's a movie, huge movie, but I think it was more of a boy movie that came out like maybe in 1999 or something. Mm-hmm. Like maybe even a blank check, like somehow like some millionaire gives him a check and is gonna give him a check as he hit and forgets to put down the amount. Mm-hmm. So he it and gets $1 million and then buys his like childhood dream, like everything that he wants as a child. And then I guess at the end it turns out that what he wanted was that whole thing all along. I always miss the endings of those movies where it's like you actually I kind of like understood all the parts of the movie that were good, like how much fun he was having, like with his bounce house and mansion and all the things that he bought. I always like missed the part at the end that was like money doesn't buy happiness. You don't like the part where it's like a point of conflict and the thing goes downhill. You like the high point, the manic craze, the resolution, the junkie, whatchamacallit, button. But there ain't no such thing as a free lunch, and best things in life are not free.
Okay.
They aren't.
Thanks for the platitudes.
You have to buy them with. Well, they aren't free. The platitude
and you don't have to. It's free. Not the cost of money. It's oftentimes the best things you have to pay in other ways.
Yeah, for the most part. And then there's a few things that just money can't buy. Yeah. But those are, lesser things. But wouldn't it be nice?
So, my little sweets update. That's what I want to get into. I did a little bit of this in my don't needs, but I have been for the first time since I've been in this army, honestly, like not eating any sugar after probably like a year-long plus process of like trying to not eat sugar, but like sneaking treats and like going off and like a method. We just
specific things were methadone, like rice pudding.
Yeah, like I get rice to a rice pudding because I just like couldn't not have something exciting to like porridge, punctuate. Yeah. But I called it porridge. So, it was all on the up. It was all good. But like maybe you can relate. And it took so long in this army to get to the bottom of it. And I don't even know if I'm at the bottom of it. I just know that I'm from Panera Bread or anything. Like,
whoa,
I'm not doing any of that right now. For the first time. That's crazy to me.
It convincing me not to come to the grocery store with you and giving me the explanation that I just really like to be, it's like I feel focused.
I'm on now, and what I've just been holding back and out of my life from coming into my life by using that addiction as a crutch or pursuing sweet or satisfaction or some kind of a reward, and just by doing that, pushing off the other types of real rewards and real sweetness, like you said, the emotional and
that's what you put it.
Yeah. And give me a little sugar, as they say. What? That the saying, the phrase, the turn, the phrase. Give me a little sugar. They're not talking about sweets.
No, they're talking about something completely different.
Oh, so I was gonna relate that to like my obsession of late, which is like, it's gone through phases as I've been working through the sugar thing. I have been interested in food Twitter, and like it kind of coalesces and snakes around ED Twitter, like eating disorder Twitter, which is a really dark place.
ED. I thought that meant something different.
Nope. It does mean other things that you might be thinking of, but I don't like it. I have been following it because it's been interesting to me. And in my first issue of Bewitched, I started talking about the sugar and bread thing with white women witches, and being really diving into like ED Twitter, food Twitter, Instagram food posters or whatever. White women rule the field. I will just say white women witches. And lately that's kind of morphed into something else I've been looking at, which is just like YouTube influencer, like day in the lifer types, which are also dominated by like white women witches and a little bit of like Asian, but like the white Asian types who are just everything revolves around punctuated sweet treat outings and drinks that they make themselves and meals they make themselves
Goals.
or go out. Like all their goals are around those things, and they're all very lonely. They all literally choose sugar over all these other things that they could be choosing in their life, and it's very clear to watch, and it's crazy. And I just don't think other people, maybe you can chime in on this, understand just how deep and overarching the sweets and breads and treats thing is for us and what it makes life like.
Yeah, I don't have any clue.
Yeah.
It's just not my thing. But I've been addicted to plenty of other things. So, but sugar's just never been one of them.
Yeah.
I'm fine with sugar. I even like sugar, but it's just, I can quit anytime, bro. I'm here for you through this.
Thank you. You are such an enabler of my sugar addiction now. You would be like, I have free Panera treats that I brought home for no reason but to make you love me. There was some of that going on.
There was a little bit, I have other problems.
There was like, we could go get an ice cream, even though we got it a few days ago because they're free. You want to come out and do it? You want to come? Even today, you like read out.
That was to see if you were strong.
Whatever. He
opened
up an email and was like, Starbucks is handing out free hot chocolates.
It's easy, If you can get sober in a crack house, then you can stay sober. I've gotten sober from many things, and I know the things that work.
Mm-hmm. Clearly, it's you that knows the things that work. It's not this army you're coming here.
No, but even before that, I didn't have that much of a problem if I really wanted to stop something, stopping it. Like I went from a pack a day smoker to like cold turkey. I did my own experiments on my brain to get there. I wouldn't recommend my method to everyone on how I got it done.
Quitting smoking was actually pretty easy for me, and it was way harder to not eat sugar.
Crazy. Smoking. That's a tough one. That was a tough one. But you were like one of those like smokers.
I honestly smoked every day though.
Yeah, but you had like 2 cigarettes a day.
At the lowest, but on my other times I would be having like 6 cigarettes a day. To 8.
I just I know you types.
Whatever. It seems like I was a pretty.
The people who you see out there, you were not
Mm-hmm.
chained to the habit, I'm saying this because I don't want anyone who is out there who does actually smoke to feel like it's not a big deal. It is a big deal.
It is a big deal. You can
stop.
It is a big deal.
It is difficult, but it's good on the other end of it. Because every time I leave this building, I see the people who are chained to their habits of smoke. It's a horrible habit.
It's so stinky.
So bad.
When you're
in the smoker matrix, you don't realize how disgusting you are to everyone else.
We've got a little bit of our sniffers are pretty good now because we have literally like no scents around us, like no artificial scents at least. And so it's like a smoker who's not even smoking, the smell is so intense. It's so bad.
Antisocial
It
behavior.
is antisocial. You don't want people around you, or
But-
you want them, but you have to propel them because
I
it's
understand.
too much.
You have fear, and it's something to tether. It's something that you can tether onto in your life. But there's other things you can tether.
You can
to.
literally suck your thumb. You can
Eh.
do it.
You could also just wash. That's what I was talking about. I don't need a bunch of viewers like sucking their thumbs.
Yeah.
But still, there's other better ways to tether in ways that you can start buying your soul back and see how that feels.
Anything else on that topic? A taskmaster today.
What are the?
It was just
Last time you were trying to expand the live and add a bunch of minutes, and now we're trying to keep it tight. So what's up? What's next on the agenda? Sweets and treats. Sweets and treats. Sweets and treats.
That meme.
We gotta
I want
pull
to see
up
if
the
I
meme.
can pull it up on here.
Do you have it saved?
Yeah.
Like the picture? I think you can.
How do I do that? Do I add
hit that puzzle piece?
autism awareness?
No, that's a game. We should play a game.
What is this? Is that a way to alert? Oh, no. That's to add a filter. I don't want to do that.
We're noobs. Well, hit the thing on the left, that cross out button. Or just tap it again. There is a way to do it.
I used to know
hit
it.
the up button on, hit that down thing up there. See. Nope.
What's this? Should I press?
What about if you press this and do a comment? Maybe you can. And what is that ... next to comment?
No. Share? No.
Can
you just bring it up on your phone and show them? That's kind of lame, but whatever. There's a meme that we're trying to get to show that Jesus is going to talk a little bit about.
I have a prepared speech on the topic.
It's very related to our topic for the segment DLA careers, past and present, which we're going to be getting into in a little while. So, I forgot to do what I was trying to do at the beginning of this live, which is have us pose in 7 positions to have the first.
You want to hold that?
Okay, yeah.
People.
Yeah. So, Instagram is glitching.
We'll let YouTube see it.
First of all, YouTube.
When you realize that no help is coming, or an adult, and have to motivate yourself to move forward, and it's a dog walking itself.
And DLA posted this on Twitter for context yesterday with the caption. What was the caption?
I don't know.
They were just we're the evil ones, or and we're evil for doing this. Instagram.
Okay, they see.
I'm trying to show
know.
Instagram now.
They saw it.
Okay, fine. Why are you being so weird about it? It's glitching, so I can't tell.
It's time for us to move on.
Well,
This makes us look kind of retarded.
We are retarded.
We are retarded, and now
So there.
Everyone knows. Okay, I'm going to talk about this meme. So, as a dog myself, a little woofster, doggo, little pup guy, a wolf, bad.
We're getting into
puppy.
Fucking furry territory right now.
As a dog myself, yeah, there's a certain element of there's only so much you can be trained to succeed. There's only so much that you can do to that people can hold your hand through. Part of growing up is learning to do the program on your own and take responsibility for your life and do the thing anyway. And as I've kicked and screamed about this at various times in my life. I certainly am in the army right now. That, it's my job to get myself out of whatever bullshit that I've created for myself, or whatever, just to lead my life into the kind of life that I don't not want. So it's just up to me, and that's an adult thing. And that's kind of what DLA teaches you, instead of just giving you the exact thing that your life is and telling you, do this. You know, that
But
doesn't
people,
really leave
including
much
us, really
agency.
want that.
Yeah, we want it. We want to be told everything to do. Unfortunately, it doesn't work like that. Not that you shouldn't join this cult, but you might find out pretty soon that you get a little bit more. You have to want things or not want things or need things or don't need things. It's not all going to be handed to you. And you're the person who is responsible for going and getting it. Oh, yes, indeed.
Mm.
So that's the meat and potatoes.
Yeah.
And there's only so much you can blame your cult leaders.
There's like, you could blame them every day, all day. Will it get you anything? Will it make your life better? Has it made our lives better when we've done that? No. It's a temporary salve, a balm, an addiction, perhaps. An addiction to being a victim to your story rather than the actor creating it, making it, whatever.
Main character energy.
Main character. Yeah. Hey, Niley, we can see that it's you. How's it going, bro?
It's like us coming on here.
Hi,
hey,
it's Mary.
It's Mary and Jesus. How's it going, Niley? All right. So, do you have anything to say about the meme? Should we move on?
I don't. Anything. I just would say that I would just say that I have the same issues. I just hide them better. You're very loud about your like oppositional defiance or like your wanting to be walked along the whole time and not taking the leash or whatever. But I just do it in different ways. Asks, how's the mission going? The mission is going, Niley, every day.
Plugging away at it.
Plugging away. We've been having a pretty good strong. We're digging ourselves out of the slump or the hole that we were in and have been in
for years.
For years. We just like making holes in this army. So it's like a fun activity for us to make the holes and then like dig ourselves out of them.
And by the way, my name is spelled D'*Jesus.
Yep,
just
it's on.
Not to be confused with the Greek spelling of Yeshua. It's a completely different.
It's a different name.
Thing.
It's a different thing.
Person. Different vibe.
Letter J wasn't actually invented till quite late in the game. So let's get into the meat and potatoes of this live. Yes, that is how you spell it. DLA careers, past and present. We've been doing this series for a long time.
And it's almost
done. This is part 10 out of 12. And I actually have found that there's plenty to talk about to fill up all 12 parts. Imagine that. Someone who wanted to get it done and over with in 3 videos. That is what's happening.
Wow.
And I thought that today, continuing off of that meme we just showed you earlier about the dog walking itself, we would talk about attitudes, past and present. What our attitudes have been like, what they were like in the beginning of our service here, how they've changed, what they're like now. That's what it's all about right now. Yeah. It's such an important thing. And a thing that we've both struggled with, continue to struggle with, and that when figured out will really end up unlocking lots of stuff for us. So
remember when you used to like eat mangoes on your live? You would just be like, and you would...
Yes, I did used to like eat mangoes or apples or oranges, and it was helping me because I used to be more anxious to go live, and having something to do with my hands like that, it was very helpful. It did help. It helped me relax a little and not be so like antagonizing or tense.
Do you ever use that to get through other things in your life? Eating?
No, I mean, I don't know.
I saw you one time walk downstairs with a bag full of apples, and I was like, is she using those apples for them?
I walked down the stairs with a bag full of apples. What are you talking about?
Never mind. Like a bag full of sliced apples.
Oh, yeah.
You don't have to explain the context, but were you using those apples in some way to appear casual?
No, I just wanted to finish. I had a whole bunch of slices of apples, and I wanted to finish them, and I had to go do something, so I brought one with me in a bag so I could finish it on the way, which is whatever. Apple a day keeps the doctor away. Yeah,
vegetarianism is not great for
you
white
should
people.
Yeah, white people need animal fats, and I'll leave it at that.
DLA careers attitudes.
Oh yeah. I was gonna ask you a question. Jesus, what was your attitude like when you first came here at the beginning of your Army career?
My attitude when I first got here was maybe a little bit manic about, like, I don't know. I think I was probably a little bit more enthusiastic in the beginning. I don't know, though. Was I? You weren't here for that.
I was not here.
I know. I was hoping this was a question that you knew the answer to. I'm trying to remember. I think my attitude was I was fresh off being like a junky loser artist. And I was fresh off being a junky loser artist, and I think I was just treating DLA as like my next junky art project, like a way to score in whatever way I was trying to score. But I had like some manic energy behind it that was like, making it be a thing. But I also was still kind of fake, kind of like douchebaggy.
You had a very cool attitude.
Cool,
perhaps.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Too cool for school, too cool for cult. I was like, I'm the cool one around here, yo.
Perhaps you would spend hours constructing the coolest memes and posting them.
I did make a lot of memes for the DLA, for my own shit. Just me trying to propagandize. But I was doing, when I first came here, I was doing a lot more propaganda. Was it good propaganda? Depends. Some of it was better than others. Mm-hmm. When I look back on it now, it all seems a tad satanic, but we were operating under different kind of rules back then. Everything wasn't as developed as it is now.
You had a lot more freedom to make decisions and perhaps mistakes.
That's what I was thinking about. It's like, this is unlike any army ever, I believe, our service, because in the 6 years I've been here, it started out like actually not that restrictive, and it's gotten more restrictive as I've gone along. Now, I don't know if it's going to stay like that. I think it's like I
think it's like an hourglass. Like, you have to go whoop to get whoop.
Yeah. And I don't know if that's what it's going to be like for new recruits. Maybe new recruits, because we know all of the stupid shit that was allowed before, they'll start at the narrow part and it can only open up.
Yeah, like the process doesn't have to be so drawn out.
Maybe they'll go like, maybe it's just forever.
I think it's actually like totally up to the person how fast or slow they go. But there's definitely, like, when I think about how I would structure this army for new recruits, it's definitely
how you would structure this army for them.
Yeah.
Oh, like their experience of the army.
Yeah, like their experience I would like just try and make it speed up by giving them a lot more parameters up front than letting it all kind of like them decide. Because in our experience, when we were given the room to decide, it took me 5 years to just not decide, because I didn't like to actually stop eating sugar and see what happens if I just stop that for a while.
I was laughing at
that.
That's borderline patron.
It's a very patronizing comment. You are the only person on this live right now, Niley, but you are not the only person that we talk to or that orbits or follows or is involved in the Day Life Army.
Chill,
you're around sometimes, which everyone is welcome. So it's always a pleasure to have anyone participating.
Not always a pleasure.
It's not always a pleasure, but it is always a thing that we do here. Anyone can come around. I guess if you're a troll, we'll probably block you after a while. But anyone who wants to watch or consume the content or any varying levels, go ahead. Go right ahead.
And anyone who is watching should be washing. Whether it's, a small wash, a big wash, like Niley on this live, you should go and just make a wash, even if it's a smaller amount than, you think would be whatever, meaningful or whatnot. You should make a meaningful wash to yourself, but it all depends on the things that you have and what you have.
What's meaningful for you is different.
It changes from time to time, I'm sure.
Yeah, every wash does count, though. Every wash makes a difference. So your attitude, just a cool guy.
It's too cool for
school. Too cool for school. Maybe. Very accurate. What about
you?
Me, sure. Let's go into it. When I first came here was later. You were still too cool for school. I came in at that time, but I think it was like the ebb of the peak of that. For me, my attitude when I came was so tragic. You would have thought I had just decided to I had just left what I thought was my twin flame, love of my life relationship that had been going on for 4 years at that point. And I knew that my path was to come here and do this, but I had to give that up. And I was really going through it when I was first here. I wasted what could have been a really great experience. I was touring the Pacific Northwest in beautiful areas, getting driven around by a cult feeder who was just constantly talking about shit, giving me advice, gems of stuff to work with, eating nice hamburgers and milkshakes and fries and ice cream and hanging out with this guy, getting to know him. But my attitude was I would cry in the corner and be I miss my boyfriend. Or it's so hard to join a cult. Everyone thinks I'm crazy. My family said I'm retarded. And I just spent so much of what could have been fuck every one of you guys. I don't care about your opinions. I'm doing what I actually want to do and get into that and be able to enjoy it and not focus on the tragedies of my life and get to experience it in a good attitude. Because I chose to do it. I chose to go and do that, which is crazy to then come and be in a bad attitude about the thing I chose to come do. But as you can tell, it's expensive and a number one thing that our generation likes to do. Anyone that's in a victim mindset. That was my initial attitude here, and a lot of fear as well. For me, a lifetime and lifetimes before me of fear was getting exercise through coming here. But I'm getting to past the beginning here. So what about halfway point for you, which was 2020 probably, when it was kind of whittling down. The prototype phase of DLA was over, and it was kind of the in-between time with you and I. You and I were together trying to figure out what came next.
Well, I feel my attitude probably wasn't great at that point. Sort of took a nosedive when I figured out that, I was having some of the power that I had was being redistributed and working for someone else and not getting the same quantity and quality of attention anymore, led me to be very sort of rebellious. And, that's probably a little bit past the halfway point, but sure, we'll just, just a little bit there was a moment, I think, where my attitude just kind of leveled out, where I was just I can just coast. And I was just through the thing. And that was a bad time. having consequences happen because of my coasting. And that attitude was like a fuck all y'all and fuck my cult leaders, and these people are bad and I'm just gonna be a giant bitch.
Yeah. What about, let me see, when it's like interesting to talk about our beginnings of our career attitudes, our middle of our career attitudes, and now, because our middle of our careers were at different times a little bit. But I would say that at my halfway point here, that was like probably around the time we parted ways that October, November.
Don't remind me.
Yeah, you know. It was a low point. And I was just beginning to change my attitude that I lived in. To be clear, that I had brought with me from the Pain Matrix. It wasn't like it was a new thing by coming here. It was like I was finally dealing with something that had been happening my whole life. And as with that process, it was like, it was pretty a big thing in the beginning. So at this point, I think I was still like, it wasn't as bad as when I got here, but my attitude was fearful. My attitude was passive. My attitude was really like, I want to be a child in this situation. Like, I don't want to have to like have responsibility. I want to be able to like say that anything is happening to me, not that I'm making things happen. I think I still cared way more about how I looked rather than what my actual experience was, how I looked to other people. In my passive attitude, I was way more like uncomfortable asserting anything really, but or that's not to say I am comfortable asserting in like a lot of, back then, even a lot in the wrong times or the wrong places, but I was really uncomfortable asserting in the right places, which would be like, I don't know. I wasn't managing you at that point, but I wouldn't assert about like how I was feeling or be honest in any way. Or tell you the truth about things. I don't know. So I guess that's what, like, pretty fake attitude. And for me, I'm not supposed to be fake. What's going on over there? How's it going with you right
now? Pretty good. I'm a little tired.
Yeah.
A little fatigued.
Let's sit up in our chairs.
So. There's only so much I can sit up sitting on this like blanket in this weird chair.
Maybe we should have put a pillow behind you.
Wedged.
You look like a puddle melting compared to me.
That's
a little better. That's a little better.
I assume the last question will be like, what is your attitude like now?
Yeah, you got it.
No!
Go for it. Take it away, Jesus. Take it away.
So my attitude now is, I just don't give a fuck about it. I'm just kidding. Okay. What is my attitude now? It fluctuates from day to day. It is, look, it's Nisha Santana. Nisha. An OG. Attitude these days kind of fluctuates from day to day. It has not been something I've been able to be extremely consistent with. Today, I have a little bit of a good attitude. These last 2 weeks, I've had a good attitude, but I've had plenty of kind of like tantrums and whatnot, like throughout the time, and being like, fuck this. And still I'm sort of like, have these moments where, I'm like, this is never gonna work.
He's actually very predictable. His cycles repeat over and over again, and they're like clockwork.
Yeah.
So
what are they?
your cycles, every time something's beginning or starting up, whether it's like the beginning of a strong here or the beginning of a month or the beginning of like changes in our orders or operations or how we're doing things here, you're a total bitch. You're super oppositional defiance.
I hate change.
You start out slow. You you kick and scream. You're in a bad attitude. Then as soon as you get over the hump of like beginning something, does he still think he's Jesus? He never thought he was Jesus with a capital J.
My name is D''Jesus.
Yeah, so
it's a different entity completely than the Jesus you're thinking of.
Yeah, we don't claim to have the OG Jesus in terms of Jesus's. He's just a Christ concept, which there are plenty of Christ concepts out in the world. It's just programming some people have. As well as daemon concepts, I guess, which is like the Antichrist concept. So there's both. He's the Christ concept type. And what was I saying? Oh, the way you start. So then as soon as you get a little bit of success, or imagine that the order you were given or the thing that's changed makes your life better and has a positive result, you like act as if it was always chill and you loved it. Like really microcosm example, when you were first given orders to like start working out way back when you hadn't at all, or like never, you were like, this is the worst thing in my life. I hate you guys. Why would you force me to do this? This is a BS.
And then I was like, I'm gonna work out every day.
Yeah.
And then
he like loved it. He was like, thank you. And he did it every day like a crazy person. And then it was like, okay, you need to just like chill and maybe do like 3 times as strong.
I said no about that as well.
And not gonna lie, joining fully would have been cool. The all white shoots with my baby. We both were gonna stay with y'all.
Yeah, I kind of remember that. I wasn't an IRL soldier at that time, but
yeah, I wasn't here at all.
I remember that was when I believe the gang was in Vegas.
And we actually do, if you're in the Army like division, we actually have incorporated, as you can tell, some greens and tans into the mix. So
that's what a new Army
recruit would be wearing.
Would be wearing some greens.
You like graduate to full white once you get through the Army. But yeah, like your attitude is pretty predictable, and I would say that like both of us, we've gotten to like some of our core attitudes that we might have been masking with other things, or having our attitudes different because we were like avoiding, like you may have more of your attitude may be more intense now, I would say. Maybe
what, intensely one way or the other, or intense?
I don't know how to describe it. Like I don't feel like you used to be so angry about this, getting angry at General Wiz, for example. But I would say that that's actually a step in the right direction, because you used to never be able to express anger at all. You were super uncomfortable doing that, which is actually where you had your growth potential. So yeah, your attitude might have changed to what like outwardly might seem like
were you there the first time? You weren't even there the first time I expressed, like super yelled at Wiz, like really like let him have it, like super hard. And then, like, I don't know, a week later, like a $45,000 wash came in.
Yeah, you should send those pics. Is that how you? I don't know if that's how you pronounce your name. I haven't actually said it out loud. Nisha. But like, yeah, like our core attitudes. It's like the healing crisis. You know, like you get mad, or I get joyful, I guess in my case, or like. Figure out like things that are deeper and are messy in the beginning, but are like actually growth in the right direction. But yeah, we still, my attitude now, I would say, is so much better in terms of fear. Like I'm not as anxious or fearful as I used to be, coming from like a family line genetically of a ton of that, and then just in my own life a ton of that as well. Like that's not as big a problem anymore. But I'm uncovering like some oppositional defiance attitude problems that I think I hid really well for a really long time.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of like, for me particularly, like you're more outwardly oppositional defiant where it's like you don't hide it at all.
Yeah.
And
Overt
it's very
versus
overt.
covert.
And mine's very covert. Like I'll get an order to do something and like completely fuck with it and do something totally different as a way to like,
but be like, yes, ma'am, in the moment.
yes, ma'am, I'll do that right away, ma'am. And then like fuck it up. Even you could say fuck it up subconsciously, but really it's like I'm just playing with power because I resent getting orders, which is so funny because we both joined a fucking army and we're mad that the army gives us orders that we have to follow.
We knew.
It's super like
we were told. We knew that that's what was happening.
And like
everyone says they join a cult and then they think like
I didn't know what would be.
I didn't know it was a cult.
We knew it was a cult. We knew it was an army. We knew, and also at every point that we have been like, okay, you can leave. Like,
been given so many
you don't want to do this, like leave. We're like, no, we don't actually want to leave. We just want to complain about the parts that are difficult while we're here.
That's our price. What's your price, guys?
Yeah, everyone's got a price. It's a super
expensive
price to have a bad attitude, though, because
I wouldn't recommend it.
It does not help us at all. It doesn't help us. It's not an adult thing to do. An adult, and that's kind of what I wanted to segue into close out this section. Like, are y'all allowed to document this? We have like so much content that you could spend hours looking at. We have YouTube channels.
We're streaming on YouTube right now.
Yeah, we're double streaming right now. So my YouTube channel is Sergeant Major Mary Martha. I think if you just search.
You think? What kind of influencer are you? You don't even know what your tag.
Mary Martha is the tag that you would search.
SMA Mary Martha.
Or you can search his channel. It's
Jesus of
Day Life. And Day Life Army has a YouTube channel as well. And we all are on Instagram, but it's like, General Koa goes live once a strong. I'm going to be going live with her tomorrow. We have a PR list that has like all our links. One of us can send it to you. We'll do that. So it like has everything collected together.
Including our cancellation articles.
Including all the cancellation
articles. I don't even know if you're up to date on.
Maybe not.
That shit. I don't know if you've seen all of the
we're the cancellations. Evil. Don't forget. But according to white women journalists that work for Vice and etc.
It's funny who the white women journalists think aren't evil.
White women journalists love to write op-eds on Jeffrey Epstein like 5 to 10 years ago. He's a bachelor, top 10 bachelors in New York nightlife. Yeah, the people who aren't evil are, they got a great track record, those white women journalists.
Well, didn't they love like the woman who was doing the whole like
Ghislaine? Marina Abramovich?
No, the one who was doing that whole like blood. Well, they love Sam Bankman-Fried, right?
At time, people of the year are always the people that end up being the big crazy scammers the next year. We've gotten canceled by a few different.
Vice has tried to cancel us, and we've rejected their.
We rejected their offer to go on some
documentary
about
it. They wanted to do an episode on cults
because we know what the pain matrix is going to say.
We just got shouted out in Time magazine. That's
as on par with Nexium, which was hilarious. But we'll send you the list of everything. The thing, I don't want to lose this thought. What was I saying about the expensiveness of an attitude and to be an adult? Being an adult. Oh yeah, what is being an adult? It's taking responsibility for like the decisions you made, where you are in life that you chose to be there, and choosing to do it with the right attitude. And that might look different for each person. For him, it might be the right attitude to be angry and assert with men in public and be like, guarding perimeters, doing shit. For me, my attitude is to be joyful because I have nothing to not be joyful about. I'm a white woman. Everything is like an oyster of opportunity. Like, why the fuck do I have no excuse to have a bad attitude. I've not experienced hardship. And I've even had a crazy white woman life for a white woman, but I have there's no to not be doing things in an attitude of joy. Even if I have to be joyful about like doing a shitty job, like cleaning a shitty diaper, not literally, but like the emotional or spiritual and eventually physical version of that. But like, yeah, doing the right attitude, it will take you so much farther. And we are saying this right now, but we're also like, we do the opposite and we have the wrong attitudes, and it doesn't take us far. So like, we're not some all-knowing whatevers. We're in a cult that has cult feeders that tell us all this shit, teach us all this shit. If I joined, you would have changed some shitty diapers.
Would that be, you would be changing your soldiers like children's diapers? Maybe. I don't know.
That seems like not in the army, and maybe more like the like pleasure matrix has been built and we're all in the commune and we're like.
I'm just wondering, like, would you being like as commanding officer be changing a diaper?
You don't know. If I would have been the commanding officer, or Nisha, maybe she would have outranked me. If she outranked me, yeah.
She said if she joined. Oh, you're talking about in the past?
Yeah, in the past.
Right. Yeah, maybe. You know, maybe she would be your boss and you would be on diaper duty.
When I first came here, we hadn't been assigned our runks yet. And I like took on the role of like grunt
Cinderella.
duty. I was like, I'm Cinderella and make everyone their soups. And Bambi, who's like this super loud, like Blasian trans woman, was like, yeah, make my soup for me, white bitch. And it was just like a lot was going on.
It was toxic. I kind of just sat there and let it happen.
That was his like everyth's cool and I'm cool fine attitude that was in the beginning.
I'll just let things work out the way they're gonna work out.
Yeah. Attitudes, past and present. I mean, that's the wrap, I think.
What did you say? Your son diagnosed with autism. He wore diapers until last year. Wow.
Oh dang, yeah. Autism crew. I have autism too.
She does have autism. So.
But like, who doesn't? In terms of that's not true, but. In terms of white Germans.
My theory is that you're either, in this day and age, you're either autistic or retarded, or some combination of the two.
Yeah.
Now, I feel like I'm way more on the retarded end. Like, I don't feel particularly autistic compared to like people who generally have autism. But I do have some retardation for sure.
Yeah, I'm like whatever. I don't like.
We got a lot of shots, y'all, when we were children.
We got a lot of shots. Got that Gardasil 3-pack. I got it all. And also my family had.
That. Is YouTube going to take things
down? YouTube might not like that. Instagram doesn't give an F anymore since it's become metaversed. Yeah, Nisha's saying she was level 2 autism. I don't know about the levels or anything. I have it pretty mild. Like well, actually, it's gotten a lot better since I've been here. But I would like have to walk on tippy toes on all wet surfaces. Couldn't wear like anything with seamed toes, and just like
those are all the physical things.
Yeah, I won't go into all of it. But
people make a whole career out of.
People make whole Instagram careers, YouTube influencer careers around their various. What do you call them?
Mainly white women. I don't see like autistic men getting like much traction. They're not getting a lot because autistic women can like make it into like almost like fetishize it for like, and then it makes it like I want an autistic girl. Like, you know, they're so. I that's how it seems to me when I see an influencer is talking about their autism, is they're making it into like their special snowflake, which will make them like appealing.
That's definitely a popular route.
Vibes.
Do you have anything else to say?
Gay men do the whole autistic clout thing. That makes sense.
Yeah.
It's like a feminine thing. Rights, trans men, I'm sure. Do I have anything else to say about attitude?
Attitudinally.
Yeah, I mean, it's basically the big thing.
It's the big thing we're struggling to get through right now. Get into our right attitudes.
And I can say, since we are going to talk about new people coming on board, URL into IRL is a thing that you can sign up for.
Yeah.
You know, being a URL soldier, which means just soldiering from wherever you're at, doing limited orders, you know, just moving towards what could be a military career is an available option. And IRL will be available from that path. That will be something that you will be able to do.
Yeah, if
you know?
anyone is interested in coming IRL and maybe needs more of the apocalypse to pop off or just their life to change to get there, you would need to be a URL soldier first. So that term can be as long or short as you make it or whatever. So that's really the place to start, though.
Mary and I have been doing this for 5 and 6 years respectively. So
yeah.
A lot of these problems that we're talking about, you can possibly go a lot quicker than we did because we've lived it and we know what to tell you and how, you know, to avoid a lot of the pitfalls. We were talking before about like the hourglass shape of like restriction and kind of like what was allowed back then that isn't allowed anymore. And in some lives, our lives have progressed a lot, like in terms of what we can do. We're in, you know, different sorts of relationships and whatnot, which were not available at the time. But at the time, we were also allowed to like eat ice cream and Skittles and stuff. So it's like trading one for the other. But I can safely say that for any new recruits, you know, you'll have people who have been part of various stages of prototype in this thing to, you know, be able to show you, you know, a way to do this.
And like everything, not like everything, because this hasn't really been done in any way, shape, or form before. But like with building a new Matrix brand, like the first people to do it, it takes longer. It's like hacking away brush in an undiscovered territory that's never been discovered. Once that happens, the next trek through by the next group of people, they might just need to do some light weeding. And happens and has been built out. So
with Yahuwah's help.
Yeah, with Yahuwah, all by the grace of Yahuwah, you know. Like this should be even quicker for the people that come after us, which, you know, that would be making sense. So yeah, DLA careers, past and present, that was part 10. Like we just kind of touched on, if you're interested in URL soldiership, DM me on Instagram at DayLifeMary, or you can email me at smamarymartha@daylifearmy.co. I'm in charge of recruitment, so you'd want to go through me for that route. If you want to make a wash, you can do that now while you're watching this live, or you can DM either of us. It's cash.me/ if you don't have those routes, and make a wash in a multiple of 12.
Which means also just open up the app. If you have an app for either of those, open up the app and just search Wash It All, and the automat will come up in both places.
Yeah. And started with washing, making a financial wash in usually in a set of 2, one financial and one social wash. Make the financial and we'll give you instructions for how to make the social wash after that.
Okay.
Thanks for tuning in, everybody.
Yeah.
And we will see you next Strong for our last live of the fiscal year. Is it fiscal year or operational year?
It's the calendar year.
Calendar year. Last live of our calendar year until year 13, right? No, year 12. Year 12. Year 12 is upon us. And check out General Koa on Instagram tomorrow. She'll be going live for Power Grab with me as a guest. We will be talking about masking, one of her intolerables in the Pleasure Matrix. Intolerable number 10, I believe, of 12 as well. 10.
You're going to do that live tomorrow? You'll be on here?
Yeah, I'm going to be on
I'll be there. No, I won't, but I'll check in once in a while.
Cool.
All right, cool. See y'all. Bye. Cool.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Cool. Bye. Cool.
I tried to use the touch screen on my computer screen.